Six Flags Great Adventure, Kingda Ka is now open. Today, trains are loading. Today, people are launching at an incredible 128 miles per hour and soaring 456 feet in the air. Today, ride the tallest, fastest roller coaster on Earth because Kingda Ka is now open. Buy one, get one free admission Monday through Thursday with a can of Coke. Don't wait. Ride Kingda Ka today.
Alrighty everybody, after yesterday's news and the rumors going around about Kingda Ka and the permits being filed throughout the past week, we were all kind of left wondering, but then we got the announcement, Kingda Ka is closing forever. But first guys, let's go ahead and get into this. Smash that subscribe button. A huge shout out goes out to all of our coaster ghosts and producers and members of the channel. You guys are the best. Without all you, we wouldn't be able to keep up with all this, produce content, and give you guys all this stuff. Anyways, after all of these rumors, the whole online fiascos, a bunch of people saying rude comments to these creators that were trying to tell you guys that this ride was closing and that there were sources telling them and nobody believing them because they couldn't reveal their sources because they didn't want people getting fired. It's just, it's not a good thing that the ride's closing, but it's nice to know that there were people out there trying to warn us in advance. So thank you to all those big creators, Coasters and Brews, Coasters Studios, El Toro Ryan, and even GP Angela for telling us in advance. I mean, we had 3 months at least from August to now. I was kind of leaning towards it being true from the beginning, but of course, everything's a rumor if you don't have a verified source. So that's really where all of this Kingda Ka talk started from, especially over there on the Twitterverse and whatnot. But Kingda Ka did get an official announcement this morning, so let's go ahead and get into that. And Marcus Leshock also shared some more details because he pressed and asked some more questions after. And they did mention something very particularly intriguing about this ride, that it is coming down. So I do not expect to see this thing revamped yet, guys, but we'll talk about that. Let's go ahead and get into it. First thing that kind of shocked me was Six Flags putting out that it only had 12 million riders since 2005, which when you look at Top Thrill Dragster, that one had about 18 million riders over the course of its lifetime, 2 years older, but still 6 million more. So theoretically, if you kind of do the math here, that ride was barely breaking 500,000 riders per year anyways. So as you could tell, it's a very costly ride to run, mechanical nightmare, and the ridership really wasn't that high. Because if we're looking at it, 12 million riders in 20 years is not really that much. And that kind of goes to show like how many people showed up to the park to get rides on it, and it was closed when they showed up. That was my experience with it, unfortunately. Luckily, we got to ride Zoom and Jarl, so I can say that I've been on the Kingda Ka structure at some point, but I'll never get to experience that launch and the tallest roller coaster in the world at the time when it was operating type thing, and it is what it is. I really wanted to ride it, but I've been told by tons of people that Top Thrill Dragster, Top Thrill 2 is the better version of it anyway, so that is what it is. But let's go ahead and get into what Six Flags was saying with all of these investments ramping up around the Six Flags chain and specifically Great Adventure as well. The press release reads, Kingda Ka, ranked as the world's tallest and fastest coaster, has delivered more than 12 million rides since 2005. The ride's retirement, in addition to the removal of the twister and parachutes, makes way for a new signature attraction, a multi-record breaking launch coaster to debut in 2026. Now, a lot of people have been kind of up in the air, is this going to be reimagining such as Top Thrill 2 was? And the park has confirmed to Marcus Leshock and a few others that no, it will not be a reimagining. The coaster is being removed completely. Now they said, we understand that saying goodbye to beloved rides can be difficult, and we appreciate our guests' passion. These changes are an important part of our growth and dedication to delivering exceptional new experiences. This is pretty exciting, but also kind of like, I've seen a couple people say this needs to be a top 10 ride and all this other stuff, and I mean, yeah, I don't think they can go build like a 200-foot launch coaster unless it's absolutely out of this world there, but it's nice to know that they already have the plans moving. I mean, can you ask for much more? They're tearing it out, and they already got plans in motion for the next thing, which is basically all you can ask for when something gets removed, because most of the time we're stuck in limbo going, dang, what are they going to build next? So I am excited about that. However, I don't love how Six Flags is sharing the 2026 investments for almost every single park already. They've talked about Kings Island, Carowinds, Canada's Wonderland, Six Flags Magic Mountain, Great America, over Texas. Like, I still like the intrigue of the season. Let us wonder throughout the season what you guys are going to build next and announce it towards Coaster Day or something. Like, this just feels a little early, but maybe I'm picky. The park continued on to say, and in 2026 we'll unveil an all-new multi-record-breaking launch coaster, a must-ride attraction sure to capture fans' imaginations. Park representative went on to say, to make way for this landmark addition, the park has retired the Kingda Ka and Green Lantern coasters, with construction beginning soon. This exciting new ride underscores Six Flags' commitment to continually elevating the park experience and making every visit an unforgettable adventure for all. Now, this did come as shocking news to plenty of enthusiasts and whatnot, and people are rightfully upset about this. I understand being upset about a coaster being closed, but I feel like a lot of people are just completely missing out on the business end of it. If you announced this weeks ago, the backlash you would have got and all that for a couple thousands of dollars in merchandise really isn't worth it. And I think the park, as much as people want to argue that point and say it's wrong, I don't necessarily agree with that point either. I wanted an announcement so we may have had some time to plan something and go out there. I agree with all of you, but from the business standpoint, it doesn't make sense to take on all that backlash for a couple $1,000s. You're not really making that much more. And when you think about it, the ride had, 500,000 riders in a year average or whatever, so it's not like they were going to send a whole bunch of us through anyways, guys. I mean, I get it. Everyone wanted their closing rides on it and their send-off on Kingda Ka and the final rides and a big celebration and stuff, but I don't think people realize it wouldn't have been a big celebration. People would have been upset that it was leaving. People would have had opinions about that, and they would have expressed those very, very loudly because it's the biggest and one of the, fastest coasters out there. It's not just something you can celebrate it going away, because then the next question is why? Why can't you fix it? Why can't you reimagine it? Why can't you revamp it? Why can't you, it just turns into a never-ending cascade of those things. So I understand the park not announcing it before. I'm grateful that people like El Toro Ryan, Coaster Studios, It's GP Angela, Coasters and Brews, Theme Park Rand, and all those people were talking about it well in advance. And as I said when I made the first rumor video, you guys have to take those rumors as they are. You have to either believe the source or not. And it just sucks that it turned out to be right. I'm glad that my friends and, fellow creators and all these other people, got to get away from all the bashing online at this point. But it's kind of crazy to think that Kingda Ka really isn't going to be running anymore. I mean, I went trying to get a ride on it, couldn't get on it, closed, rode Zumanjaro, which also Zumanjaro's gone, but if anybody was wondering, I think we can rule out the Intamin overhaul. Zamperla is definitely not getting a, that was laughable to even try to say. Zamperla is not getting a phone call. I think as far as the new launch ride goes, we'll probably see something similar to Alpenfury over at Canada's Wonderland, just on a larger scale, especially if it's successful this season. We could see some other rides as well. There's plenty of launch coasters out there. Intamin could build another one. Let me know what you guys are thinking. How are you feeling about this? Go off down in the comments. Not on me, just go off. I didn't do this. But yeah, go off and sound off. How are you feeling? Did the park do the wrong thing? Did they do the right thing? Are you mad that it's gone? Are you happy to see it gone? I know a couple people are, surprisingly, because they say Top Thrill Dragster or Top Thrill 2 was the better version of it. But I feel like those people are just kind of being spiteful. Just saying. And of course, what do you think is going to replace it? Let me know down below. Detail it. What do you think is going to replace it? Does it have to be a top 10 ride? Was Ka a top 10 ride? There's plenty of things to discuss here, so go ahead and go off in the comments down below, guys. And of course, as always, thank you for being a part of our spooky community and for coaster ghosting with Ghoster Coasters.